Hi, I'm Tim Schlippe, Professor for Artificial Intelligence at IUBH and CEO of Silicon Server. Today I'm presenting a collaborative work of researchers from Germany and Qatar. Our publication with the title Visualizing Voice Characteristics with Type Design in Closed Captions for Arabic describes the technology WaveFont, which provides significant added value in captioning for hearing impaired and non-hearing impaired viewers, and the corresponding evaluation with Arabic captions. What will be the content of this talk? First, I will show you why captions and subtitles are so extremely important. Then I will motivate the WaveFont visualization and explain it with a video. Using examples from related work, you will learn how typography and subtitling have evolved and where trends are going in these areas. Then you will learn how the technical pipeline for the automatic creation of WaveFont captions works. Next, I will say a few words about the experimental setup of the evaluation with Arabic captions. This includes the visualization of Arabic WaveFont captions in a demo clip, which we showed the participants of our survey, the structure of our questionnaire, and information of our participants. In the results of our questionnaire, you will see how the participants rated the comprehensibility of WaveFont, the fonts, the font size, the visualization of the voice characteristics, and the potential of the application areas. And at the end, you will receive a summary of the talk and an outlook on further work in this area. Captions are very important and in high demand. According to the World Health Organization, 466 million people worldwide have disabling hearing loss. This is 5% of the world's population, and the number is increasing due to demographic change. It is estimated that by 2050, over 900 million people will have disabling hearing loss. According to Amazon Prime Video, 30% of the users watch with subtitles. Only 20% of those are hearing impaired. There are 244 million people living in a country other than they were born. Captions help many of them to better understand what is spoken on TV, accelerating the language learning process. But by far the largest number of people who benefit from captions is on social media. 85% of the active Facebook users watch videos without sound. These are 2 billion people. Accessibility is becoming more relevant to politics and the subtitle offer is expanded. However, conventional captions and subtitles have not evolved for decades. They are limited and boring and do not take advantage of what is technically possible nowadays. Conventional captions and subtitles still reflect what is spoken, not how it is spoken. That means no information about loudness, intonation, pauses, length, and emotions. They miss out on the opportunity to convey such information in the utterances to the audience through intuitive visualization with the help of the typeface. And here we get into the game. With our technology and visualization WaveFont, we provide information about how something is spoken in the typeface. When someone speaks louder, the font gets bolder. When someone speaks slower, it gets wider. Let's watch a clip of Martin Luther King's famous speech with WaveFont captions.
I have a dream that one day.
Let's go through this sentence step by step. I was spoken loud and slow. Have a was spoken loud and fast. Dream was spoken quieter and much slower. That was quiet and fast. And one day louder and faster. Now you can imagine how Martin Luther King speaks, even without the sound. You may already know this intuitive visualization from speech balloons in comics. Let's have a look at the font development and representation. Typography as a stylistic device has a very long tradition and is used in printed books, posters, and comics. Now we have digital reading media, and we try to fully profit from digital, going beyond typography as a stylistic device. For example, responsive type is such a novel approach, where the shape of each character is adjusted according to certain properties, such as the relative position of the reader. To improve comprehension and to include non-textual information such as emotion or prosody in an utterance into a visual representation, Matthias Wölfe, Angelo Stitz, and me proposed voice-driven type design in 2015. Voice-driven type design adjusts the shape of each character according to particular acoustic features in the spoken reference. Other researchers followed this idea of expressing spoken language in this way. Now let's look what research and development has been done in the field of captioning and subtitling in recent years. As manual captioning from scratch can be very time-consuming, it takes on average 5 to 10 times the duration of the video. Researchers propose systems for computer-aided captioning. Further studies in captioning and subtitling include their placement and design. There are also first works that try to represent emotions in captions and subtitles. For example, Eltawil investigated the use of creative subtitles through emojis and emoticons. Her results show that emojis and emoticons are not universally understood and may convey several meanings. For this reason, we have chosen a representation or approach that is universally understood across cultures. How does our technical pipeline for the automatic generation of WaveFont captions work? Input of our WaveFont generator is the audio track from the video and the corresponding caption file, for example an SRT or VTT file. Based on the start time and the end time of each caption, the audio track is segmented into smaller audio files containing spoken utterances. For each of our audio speech segments, an automatic forced alignment process is applied. This process takes the transcription of the audio speech segment and provides the start and end time for each word in the speech segment. Next, feature values from the word segments are extracted, which give us information about loudness and speed of each word. Then the acoustic features are mapped to font classes. Based on the content of the original caption file, a new caption file is produced that contains font definitions according to the mapped font classes. Now a few sentences about the experimental setup of our survey before we present the results. First, we ported our technology to Arabic. To analyze two very different Arabic font families, we produced WaveFont captions for the following two font families: Simplified Arabic and Din Arabic. Simplified Arabic represents the traditional fonts which are usually used for subtitling. Din Arabic is a more modern font family, while the WaveFont visualization is more moderate with Simplified Arabic. With Din Arabic, it is more expressive. We made a compilation of 76 seconds of footage in Arabic from the three genres: sports, news, and poetry. Sportscasts are full of emotions and can benefit from having their speech characteristics represented. The same applies for news reports. Poetry has always played an essential role in traditional Arabic culture, and on TV, talent shows for poets are very popular. The sports clip uses a mixture of modern standard Arabic and phrases that exist in other dialects and are not specific to one dialect. The poem and the news clip use modern standard Arabic. Our questionnaire contained the following 5 parts. First, a brief introduction of WaveFont and general questions about the WaveFont visualization. Second, a part with personal questions about general subtitle usage and demographic information. Third, our video clip with conventional standard captions and related questions. Fourth, our video clip with WaveFont captions visualized with a simplified Arabic font and related questions. And finally, our video clip with WaveFont captions visualized with a DIN Arabic font and related questions. 159 people filled out our questionnaire. 32 participants have a hearing disability. 12 are hard of hearing and 20 are deaf. Our participants come from 22 countries. 153 participants' mother tongue is Arabic. Most participants were between 25 and 44 years old. In order to obtain detailed results, we ask for a score range where it makes sense. The score range follows the rules of a Likert scale, which ranges from 1 strongly agree to 5 strongly disagree. First, we asked about the comprehensibility of our visualization. As you can see in the figures, we also ask for standard subtitles to have a comparison. Furthermore, when evaluating the WaveFont captions, we differentiated between results of hearing impaired and non-hearing impaired people. While loudness and speed in the standard captions were each rated with an average score of 2.6, the WaveFont visualization was rated with 3.4 by the non-hearing impaired and 3.1 and 3.0 by the hearing impaired participants, which are relative improvements of 31% and 19%. The combination of loudness and speed was rated even better. What can we conclude from this? First, WaveFont is more comprehensible than the standard. Second, the visualization of loudness and speed together is preferred. And third, the hearing impaired participants also find that WaveFont is more comprehensible than the standard. Their results are slightly worse than those without hearing disability, suggesting that they cannot distinguish the voice characteristics as accurately, especially those who have never heard. In the following results, we do not list the hearing impaired separately, but compare the use of the two font families, Simplified Arabic and DIN Arabic. In our videos, we showed WaveFont with two classes for loudness and two classes for speed. To figure out if a finer visualization of the voice characteristics makes sense, we asked the participants if we should add a third class. As you can see from the figures, the proportion of participants who prefer a finer distinction in loudness and those who do not is comparable. While in speed, the larger proportion prefers the two previous classes. Then we asked our participants if the font and the font size are optimally chosen in the three visualizations. From the results, we see that the participants are most satisfied with Simplified Arabic, the more moderate font, which was rated 3.5, and second most satisfied with DIN Arabic. Furthermore, the majority is satisfied with the font size of the WaveFont captions, even if 126 participants accessed the questionnaire with a mobile phone and 7 participants with a tablet. In order to further optimize the visualization, we ask whether we should express certain features less or more. Our questions about the visualization of the loudness demonstrate that loud words could be displayed even bolder, while the majority is satisfied with the stroke width of quiet words. Our questions about the visualization of the speed demonstrate that the majority is satisfied with the character width of fast and slow words. When asked which captions improve the watching experience more, WaveFont with Simplified Arabic won significantly with 48%, while DIN Arabic was even slightly beaten by standard captions. The figure on the right shows that 49% in total would prefer a movie where you can turn on WaveFont captions. This question was rated with an average score of 3.4. When asked where the participants would like to see WaveFont, we got different answers as visualized in the figure on the left. Use cases where more than 30% of the participants agree are video on demand, TV, social media, live broadcasts, and TVs at public places. When it comes to the question in which film genre WaveFont should be used, 30% and more agree on comedy, sports, drama, horror, political, historical, thriller, animation, news, explanatory videos, and science fiction. Let's come to the conclusion. What we have initially seen was that captions and subtitles are in high demand. There is still potential in the fields of typography to fully profit from digital, and in captions to convey the information and the emotions in the utterances to the audience. We have demonstrated how to generate captions that visualize voice characteristics in an intuitive way. And we have ported this technology to Arabic. The results of our survey indicate that our visualization is comprehensible and acceptable and provides significant added value for hearing impaired and non-hearing impaired participants. Significantly, more participants stated that WaveFont improved their watching experience more than standard captions. Future work may include investigating how to generate WaveFont captions in modern standard Arabic. This will require a mapping of the speech characteristics of the spoken words in Arabic dialect to the words in the modern standard Arabic subtitle. To overcome the limited choice of appropriate Arabic font families, alternative visualizations of long words could also be investigated. After we have found out that WaveFont is accepted in Arabic, we plan to investigate further languages and writing systems, and to find techniques to transfer the voice characteristics to translated subtitles. Thank you.